Welcome back to the Choosing Your Next Weapon series, where I will be critiquing the performance the performance of each gun in every weapon category in BRM5. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. In the last video, I went over assault rifles and carbines, and in this video, I will be going over SMGs, PDWs, and shotguns. Before I get started, I just want to clarify that the purpose of these videos is not to start arguments or to find the best gun. The purpose of this series is to help you make an educated decision if you go to buy one of these guns. If you don't want to take my word for what these guns are, private servers are free and you can just turn on the RGE and test your guns on your own accord. First is the MP9N. It costs $2,350 and it's a level 28 unlock. It shoots insanely fast and does crazy damage, and it's chambered in 9mm. Recoil on this guy, it has a little bit of a wiggle left to right when you're going full auto, but other than that, very easy to control recoil if you have a higher mouse sensitivity. If you run a lower sense, then you might have to pull quite a bit. And to give you some perspective on what it looks like when I'm not controlling the recoil, when I just let the gun do its thing, this is what it looks like. Next is the MP5A4. It costs $1,400 and it's a level 34 unlock. The MP5 shoots very flat. It has higher damage than the MP9. Not a lot, but it does have a decent boost in headshot damage. Way less fire rate. It also introduces a burst mode, which can be annoying when you're trying to switch from auto to semi. This gun, you can actually put a scope on it. Well, not a sniper scope, please don't do that. But you can put a magnified optic on it and shoot out to further distances. When I say further distances, I mean further than the MP9, and you're only going to be able to shoot so far, even if you put a big scope on it, because of the bullet despawn range and your muzzle drop and damage reduction in that distance. Here we have the Pt.2. It costs $1,200 and it's a level 16 unlock. It has pretty good damages. It's very, very light. The recoil is kind of jumpy, but with this really slow fire rate, it kind of just chugs along. It's pretty easy to get rounds on target up to quite some distance with this thing. You can put a 45 round mag in it, but it does take up a little bit more extra space. I wouldn't be afraid to use this gun in zombies or in open world if you're really doing something CQB like bunker. But in PvP, this gun struggles with its low time to kill if you don't hit a headshot because of that slow fire rate. Coming in with the $3,000 price tag with the level 53 unlock, we have the MP7A1. This gun is pretty iconic, but I know this is going to make a lot of people mad, but it's mid. I'm kind of sorry, but not sorry, because this gun's overrated by a long shot. And allow me to explain. So here we have it stacked up against two of the more average PDWs in the category, the MP5 and the MP9, but they're pretty respectable and good. You can see that the MP7 has way more recoil and also does a gosh darn less amount of damage, which really hurts its performance. Okay, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So here you can see it takes 2 headshots to kill this armored enemy, and with the MP9 or any of the other submachine guns, it takes just 1 shot, and I can just go to work on these guys. Super easy, not a problem. Coming in with a level 20 unlock and costing $2,100 is the P90. This gun is really popular in PvP. It doesn't have the best damages, but it has pretty good fire rate. It also has a 50 round magazine, which is insane, and they're not that big in your inventory either. It does have quite a bit of side-to-side recoil, not so much push-up recoil, but you can see it is a little bit of a struggle to keep it on target because of it wiggling side-to-side. And horizontal recoil is very hard to deal with, as opposed to vertical recoil, where it's pretty consistent. You can just put your mouse down. It is worth noting that this gun is quite difficult to fit attachments onto, and as you can see here with my sight, it sits way above the barrel, so when you're up close and personal with the enemy, if you aim at their head, your bullet is more than likely just going to hit their torso because the barrel is so much lower. That is something I actually noticed while using this gun in Bunker Raid and in PvP, is that it's pretty easy to miss headshots with this guy because of that sight over bore distance. Overall, not a bad SMG. It's just a little bit of a learning curve to get the headshots, and that 50 round magazine makes up for what it lacks in damage. Here we have the UMP45. It costs $900 and it's a level 20 unlock, so very cheap. Now this gun makes quite a lot of compromises for its good damage stats. You can see it has a very impressive headshot damage, very impressive torso damage, but the fire rate is quite slow. And the biggest compromise of all is the magazines. They only hold 25 rounds each, and they take up 3 slots, so it's quite hard to carry a lot of ammo for this unless you're using boxes, which also adds a bunch of weight. And it's a really low level unlock, so pretty good as long as you can get past the magazine issue. And I should say that if you're stealthing, you're not going to be burning through a bunch of ammo anyways, so this could be a pretty solid stealth option. Here we have the SR2 MP. It costs $2,125 and it's a level 28 unlock. I did forget to film this gun at the shooting range, so just bear with me. It does 120 headshot damage, which is pretty good, and it does 62 torso, which is pretty good. But it has a whole bunch of recoil. This is by far the hardest recoiling gun on this list. It's also chambered in quite a unique caliber. It's 9x21. In any case, this is the only gun in the game that shoots this bullet, so you have basically 0 rounds compatibility with anyone else. Attachments aren't too bad on this guy. You can put rails on it, and there's actually a couple of suppressor options, and you can mount whatever sight you want. There's also a couple magazine options. I believe it comes with the 20 round magazine to begin with, so make sure to switch over to the 30 rounder if you do decide to use this gun, despite its horrible recoil. The M1014 costs $1,400 and it's a level 20 unlock. This is the first shotgun of the list. It does 38 headshot damage and 19 torso damage. I believe there's 8 pellets per shot, and the damages, bullet speed, and dispersion is the same among all the shotguns. So look out for the magazine type, the weight, and the rounds per minute when choosing your shotgun, as well as the recoil. Because other than that, they're statistically identical. Even though they are statistically identical, when I'm out here shooting it, the M1014 seems to have less recoil than the Saiga 12, which is the only other semi-auto shotgun in the game. It is quite useful having the shotgun be able to load 1 shell at a time, because you can stop your reload halfway through if you feel the need to do so. Even though it's a semi-auto shotgun, you can still rapid fire it pretty quickly. And also, it carries ammo in boxes, so no need for hefty magazines. Here we have the Saiga 12. It costs $980 and it's a level 18 unlock, so very, very cheap. And it's the only shotgun in the game that's magazine fed, so that's quite nice. Though it is magazine fed, it only holds like 5 rounds each magazine, which is not efficient because each magazine takes up 2 slots. Now the recoil is pretty jumpy compared to the M1014, as you can see here, it kind of jumps everywhere. Suppressors do not fit on shotguns, so you're going to have to deal with this muzzle flash taking up your entire view and you not be able to see anything. Last but not least is the M590A1. It costs $851 and it's a level 12 unlock. It does the same damage as the other shotguns, similar bullet speed, that kind of stuff, but it shoots way slower, and it has similar recoil to the M1014, which is the first semi-auto shotgun that we looked at, and it also reloads the same way, being a single shell at a time, which means you can stop reloading in the middle of a reload, which I find useful time to time. This is also the only shotgun you can put a flashlight on by changing the handguard, which makes this the most customizable shotgun of the 3. And that concludes part 2 of choosing your next weapon. Part 3 will be coming out sometime next month, though it is going to be a busy month for me, so it might get pushed out a little further, but I really hope it doesn't. I try to keep these videos rolling. And I also really want to do loadout videos and vehicle videos and stuff like that, so please stick around and do subscribe. Thank you for watching.